So y'all mean to tell me that a healthy, happy woman will willingly choose to spend the rest of her life by herself? Like, is that what we're saying? So being single by choice is very real, right? You can be in your single season. You can decide, like, I'm just, living my life, not ready for a relationship, not interested in a relationship, and that's okay. But there's one thing to say that this is the choice that I'm making, that I want to spend the rest of my life by myself, no husband, no kids, no nothing, just me, myself, and I. I find it hard to believe. It sounds like a lot of bitter, broken, unhealed, unhappy women. And instead of joining all these movements, how about you join a therapy group? How about you hit up that number on the back of your insurance card if you have insurance and find out where you can find you a therapist, because that's what you need. I don't, it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. Like, it don't make sense. Her life by herself.
I don't understand why this is a thing. In answer to your question, hell yeah. There are plenty of women out here that are healthy and happy and don't have marriages and don't have children. What's the question? Because you don't feel happy or fulfilled unless you have a husband and kids to run in behind. That makes a single woman without children unhappy. There's something wrong with people. My dad used to have a saying, what you eat don't make me shit. Why do you care? I never see single women on here questioning the validity of marriage and children. I never see that. It's always the women with the children and the husband that's swearing up and down that nobody can be happy unless they're in the same situation. It doesn't make any sense. People are happy with what they're happy with. There are people who love being by themselves. I'm one of them. And I have children. They're grown, but I have children. I've been married. I would never go back to that. I'm happy with me. But you have to be happy with yourself in order to be happy, single, and childless. Women like that, you got to have somebody. You got to have somebody to focus on because you can't focus on you. Mind your business, for one thing. Just mind your business. It ain't none of your business. If this woman is over here taking trips and having the time of her life and she doesn't have any children, what's it to you? You the one sound like you're bitter, baby. Mind your business. That's the post.
A healthy, happy woman will willingly choose to spend the rest of her life by herself.
Yeah, you're really funny. Yeah, you're really hilarious. You know what I call that? You're jealous of those single women who choose to be single, who doesn't want a husband or kids. You're just jealous. Because my friends, they're child-free. They're happy as a clam. Sure, they got a lot of stress. Sure, they got responsibilities to care of. But at the end of the day, no man and kid is going to stress them out. Because you know what? They're in love. They're happy. They're content. Period. And, God day. Okay?
Is that what we're...
That's exactly what they're saying. And then I find it funny that in the captions it's talking about get some therapy. And it's like, honey, the gag is, if it wasn't for therapy, a lot of these women wouldn't realize that their lives are more than just being somebody's wife and somebody's mama. If it were not for therapy, a lot of these women would be in a position where they're trapped in a loveless or, one-sided marriage with a whole bunch of kids hanging off their tits. If it were not for therapy, they would be, no offense, just like you sit up here worried about what single women doing instead of actually being happy with their own lives and choices. No shade. No shade. Because I've been seeing way too many men and women trying to browbeat single, childless women for their choice to be single and childless. And, I already know about the men doing it. They nervous because these women don't want to put up with them and deal with them no more. And understandable because they're insufferable. But when you fellow ladies do it, it's like, all I can think of is like, girl, if you got trapped in that husband and that wife and mother role, and it's not always a trap, but In these situations, it be giving trap. It be giving you were either forced once you got pregnant, everybody browbeated you to keep the baby and to marry that man or to be with that man, or you've been gaslit or brainwashed your whole life to think that your value stems from you being a mother and somebody's wife or girlfriend. Either way, it's very clear that y'all do not be happy with them decisions that y'all made. And instead of dealing with that, y'all be on here doing think pieces and going on tirades about single women who ain't got no kids. Like I saw one of my mutual stitches. I'm gonna piggyback off of what she said, but if y'all are so fulfilled and this life is so wonderful, go be with your children, go be with your man, and leave them single ladies alone. Okay? They don't want your life. They don't. Okay? Go fry an egg for one of them babies. Go fold some laundry. Go set up the playpen. Go hang out with that husband. Okay, if you're so fulfilled, go be fulfilled in your role. Go do that. Go.
Willingly choose to spend the rest of her life by herself.
Yes! And yes! And yes, baby girl. It's not always a choice. It's just what happens. I've been single since 1998. Were you even born then? That's how long I've been single. I've dated here and there, but a relationship, no. My last relationship was in 1998. I've had relations since then, but I've been mostly celibate. 5 years here, 8 years here, and this last, that was 4 years. Which I hate I even messed that up that one day, but it was a birthday, but okay. Yes, baby, yes. I will say yes a million times. If you learn to love you and you have other things to do other than other people, you will find yourself happy. You're miserable. You need therapy. Because just to think, somebody like you, every time you're single, you're going to go out and get anything. You're going to go out and get somebody, as long as you got somebody there, because you don't love yourself enough. I think people that have to have somebody else don't love themselves enough. But that's understandable, because I've been in that position where I did not, because I was around a group of people who felt that they had to have somebody because they were taught that. Okay, I know it takes two to make a baby. I know that much. That's a choice that people make. If a person chooses not to have a baby or not to have a relationship, that's their choice. Some people have lives. Some people have hobbies. I got a million hobbies that I haven't even had time to do for the last 4 years because I've been driving this truck. Okay? So, a man ain't what I gotta do. If it happens, it happens. But if it don't, I ain't out here looking for it. And that is the problem with society. It's okay to meet somebody and fall in love and do all those other things. It's okay. But it is okay to be alone. There's nothing wrong with being alone. Being alone and loving yourself is the ultimate relationship that you can have on this earth. Because some people think that if they just love God and hate themselves, they're going to be all right. Because God loved me. He got me. But I ain't got myself. And those people end up being miserable. They end up in the church looking for somebody else to love them. The preacher, the deacon, people on the board, everything. The usher board. They looking for somebody to love them. That's why they up in the church. They not looking for God. They actually in there looking for God to send somebody to love them, because they don't love themselves. And if God made you in your image, in his image, her image, whoever you believe, then that should be the ultimate love that you have. Young lady, please get therapy, because there's something seriously wrong with you for thinking like that. Yeah, there is. Get some help.
Woman will willingly choose to spend the rest of her life by herself. unhealed, unhappy.
Yeah, I'm playing it. I look rough. Listen. If a woman knows for a fact she does not want kids and don't want a husband, that is not bitter. That is smart. Because all she's going to do if she gets married is make that man miserable. All she's going to do if she has kids is make those kids miserable. Stop telling women that don't want to get married or have kids that they're bitter. It's smart. If you know for a fact you won't make a good wife or you will make a good mother, that is not bitter. That is smart. Why would you marry someone knowing you don't want to be with that person? Why would you bring kids into this world knowing you're going to make a horrible mother? Knowing you're going to be selfish. You're going to put them last. You're going to cause them trauma. You want a woman to traumatize a husband and some kids just to say she's married? No, ma'am. Now listen, the women who are doing the 4B movement, do it. If you want to get married, get married. Have kids, have kids. But if you know as a woman for a fact, you would make a horrible wife and a horrible mother, don't get married. And don't have kids.
To spend the rest of her life by herself.
Absolutely, positively, yes. Contrary to popular belief, being single is not a death sentence. And some women actually do choose to live a life as a single woman with no children, and they're actually happy. We have full lives, we have careers, we have family, we have, organizational affiliations. Not everything in a woman's life is centered around a man. I, for one, love to wake up in a clean house that I own with a peaceful environment, and I get to decide what I want to do on any particular day. It's not, everything is not about men. And I really wish that women who believe that you can't have a fulfilled life without having a man or children would really think about whether you want those things for yourself because you want them, or do you want them because society says that that's what you're supposed to have in order to be considered like a woman who has truly lived her purpose. There are many of us who are living just fine, sleeping great at the end of the night, not missing an ounce of sleep, not missing a meal, and all bills are paid. So you can be healthy, you can be happy, and you can be single. And it's totally okay. And that may change. Hey, it may change. I may decide if I meet a good man, I may decide to embark on a relationship. But having a relationship and not having a relationship as a 45-year-old professional woman is not going to make or break me. And it's disappointing to see so many women center men in their lives so much to the point where they don't realize that you can actually live a comfortable, happy life and be single. It's not a death sentence. Doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. And it doesn't mean that at some point, if you find the right relationship, that you can't change your mind. But it's okay to be alone. Being alone is not the same thing as being lonely. Most of us that are single by choice have very fulfilling lives. So instead of wondering how we do it, you might want to try to get like us. Ciao.
To spend the rest of her life by herself.
The implication that a woman needs a man or partner, let's not be, homophobic about it, that a woman needs a partner to feel fulfilled in her life. I know plenty of women who are perfectly happy and fulfilled in their life without a partner in it. They have found peace and joy within themselves and what they do. Why is that wrong? Why does that bother you so much? It's not about who you're with. It's about what you do with your life. And if all you want to do is be someone's partner, great. Good for you. Don't try to make other people feel wrong for not wanting the same things you do.
Well, I get what she's saying. And some people may be bitter and, all of that jazz. What else sounds unhealthy to me is people who are getting in these relationships not knowing themselves, and being in marriages and relationships for the sake of being in a marriage and relationship so you're not by yourself. Because being by yourself is so uncomfortable. There's a lot of people out there who are in relationships today, and just because they don't want to be by themselves. You know why? Because they're uncomfortable with being by themselves. They're uncomfortable with the company and the presence of themselves. And that needs a therapist. that type of person needs a therapist. Because if you can't be in the company of yourself, if you can't be in the energy of just your presence and knowing you and understanding you and being with you and loving you before you're loving someone else, what you're going to end up doing is being in a relationship with somebody who loves you just as much as you love you, and you don't really love yourself that much. So yes, being a person choosing to be single could be bitter and angry, but they can also be happy and healed and realize that they don't rely on another person to make them happy. They're happy within themselves. Happiness doesn't come from other people or relationships or children or what you have outside of you. Happiness comes from within. True happiness comes from within. And when the problem with that is when you rely on other people for your happiness is when that person chooses not to love you, when that person makes you angry, when that person leaves, or Lord forbid, when that person dies, you still have to deal with the unhappiness within you. So instead of criticizing other people, why don't you just worry about your fucking self?
No hate or shade to this woman whatsoever, but I need y'all to be so fucking for real. Just because some of y'all lack self-love and lack self-esteem, and you need a man in your life in order to feel like you accomplished something, in order to feel like you are somebody, doesn't mean it's the same for everybody else. Some women know how to be alone, and some women are happy to be alone, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let me tell y'all something. When it comes to relationships, dating, marriage, all that shit, you need to understand that it's hard. You need to understand that now you have to consider somebody else's feelings. Now when it comes to important decisions and life choices, whether it's about yourself or the relationship, now you need to have their input. Now you need to consider what they think. And sometimes it might be choices where you get a big opportunity in your career and it might be out the country. Now you need to decide between, oh, do I still want to be in this relationship or do I want to go follow my dreams? Y'all need to understand that when it comes to dating and relationships and things like that, at some point y'all gonna need to move in together. And some people like having their own personal space, but now you need to share a space and compromise with other people. Some people are messy, and somebody that's clean don't want to be with nobody messy, or somebody that's messy don't want to be with nobody clean, and so on. Some people want children, some people don't want children. Some people like to go and come as they please, some people don't like to go and come as they please. Some men like telling women what to wear, and from my point of view, that's not always a case of a man being controlling. Sometimes some outfits just should not be outfits. If we're being so fucking fair when it comes to these fashion companies, y'all might as well walk out butt-ass naked. So when it comes to outfits like that, I definitely understand when a man says, oh, I don't want my girl wearing that. But now she's in a relationship, so now she needs to decide between wearing this outfit that shouldn't be an outfit or listening to my man. Some women don't want to consider those type of feelings. Some people don't want to go through that. Some people enjoy, they only have to make their own decisions and they don't have to talk to nobody else. Some people enjoy being by themselves. Some people enjoy living alone, and so on. So I want y'all to be so fucking for real. There's nothing wrong with the woman being happy and being alone. And if you don't know how to be by yourself, then you damn sure don't need to be in a relationship either, because you cannot love nobody until you learn to love yourself. There's nothing wrong with the woman that doesn't have kids and that is happy and healthy and by herself. Some people just enjoy being alone. Hell, I was alone until I met my girl, and if I wasn't with my girl, I would be by myself because I was happy being single. I want y'all to be so fucking for real. Just because a woman is single doesn't mean she's bitter. And lastly, like I said in the beginning, just because some of y'all need a man to feel validated in order to feel important in life doesn't mean it's the same for everybody else. I need y'all to hang up this pick-me culture, because men had even said they wouldn't pick Pearl, and she's the biggest pick-me Isha of all.
Unhealed.
So,
So this is kind of an awkward misinterpretation of the data. See, it's not that we're like totally happy being single and would never ever say yes to a guy, or at least not most of us. Okay, I'll just speak for myself, at least not me. It's kind of like being invited to a barbecue, right? You want to go to the barbecue. You're really looking forward to some potato salad, right? But you get there, and the only potato salad is that stuff made with Miracle Whip, where they put some raisins in it for some reason. Now, you still are hungry and you still want potato salad, but you're fine going home without potato salad for now. And it's actually the healed part of me that's telling me that I don't have to just take the potato salad that's offered and just choke it down no matter how gross it is. I actually have the option to go home without potato salad and wait for the next cookout. Wait till somebody's offering me potato salad that's actually worth putting into my system. You know? The fact that you have decided that anyone who does not want the nasty potato salad must be bitter and hateful and unhealed tells me that either you have never tasted the grossness of that kind of potato salad and therefore don't know that it really is better to go home a little hungry than eat it, or else you've swallowed the lie that says that we all have to just put up with whatever potato salad has been shoved in our face, and if we don't, then we must be bitter and hateful. And that makes it sound like you have quite a lot of healing to do, because otherwise you wouldn't accept it either. I don't have to accept a bad relationship just so I can have a relationship, you know? Am I happier without ever getting any good potato salad? No, I miss the potato salad. But what I want is good potato salad, you know? I don't want the gross shit. And if that bothers you, well, don't invite me to your cookout. Because if my choice is the nasty potato salad or the mashed potatoes that I can make myself at home, aka a bad relationship or just being single, the mashed potatoes are going to leave me more satisfied than eating those nasty raisins.
That a healthy, happy woman will willingly choose to spend the rest of her life by herself. Like, is that?
I think between 2020 and 2024, I missed something. Because I don't know since when it became not okay to be happy and healthy and be alone. Because at the end of the day, for her to say that she does not believe that a happy and healthy woman can just say they do not want to be with a man, because to her it's disingenuous, it's not honest. We as women who decide to do that should seek therapy because there's something wrong with you. No, ma'am, there's something wrong with you. Not us, not the people who choose to be healthy and happy and alone have something wrong with them. Because at the end of the day, we or whoever is healthy and happy and alone without a man is probably happy and healthy because she didn't have a man, because she doesn't have a man. Because have you ever seen the actual research and proven based data that women who are single and child free are happier and healthier than women who are married and or have children? So I don't know since when it became not okay for people to be single. Now, don't get me wrong, I do know, like, you know, after a while, because actually at the end of the day we were not meant to be alone. But because the partner, a lot of times the partner that we end up with or we choose usually are the one that's making you sick and tired because, you know, because I don't know why. I don't know why people who are with you, you would think you will have a great life with your partner, someone you love so much, but then usually those people are the one that's stressing you out. So that's one of the reasons why you get out of relationships. Or there are multiple reasons why people are single and happy and alone. But we were actually meant to be partnered, right? To be with someone. But then you don't have to be with someone sexually to be happy. You don't have to be with someone who you have to be with, you know, as a partner to be happy. So you have friends, you have family who you can, you know, keep yourself entertained and keep yourself happy with and sustain your life with, because at the end of the day, we were not meant to be alone, right? But for some reason, for some odd reason, a lot of people are just happier and healthier when they are alone, because people can be headaches, they can be pain in the ass. Yes, especially partners, especially if you're with someone who is a pain in the ass, and they're going to naturally make you sick because you're stressing and you'll develop disease in your body. Doesn't Tisha Campbell came out and said that after she left her husband of so many years, she had some genetic or some sort of disease that she had that was no longer, like, doctors could not find it after she dropped that husband, after she got a divorce, because she wasn't stressed anymore. She wasn't like going through all the ins and outs of being a wife and a mom, and, you know, stressed out. Not saying all married couples are going to stress, but majority of the time being married is a lot of work. Okay, so that is one of the reasons why she said that her getting a divorce has a lot to do with it, play a huge role in her feeling much better after she got a divorce. So a lot of times, you know, your partner can be the one that's making you sick. So yeah, people, yes, I understand you can be lonely when you are not dating someone at times, obviously, because we were meant to be with other people, right? So you can feel a bit lonely when you're not in a relationship for a long time, but that doesn't mean that you have to go and be with someone if you feel like that person is not good for your health, for your well-being. So yeah, people can be happy and healthy and be single and not have a problem with it. Don't get me wrong, I'm a sucker for a great man. I'm a sucker for that, but there's not much of them out there. So until I find that person who I feel is going to be worth me stressing, then yes, being single will be the best thing, because I would rather be single and happy and enjoy my life and get to do whatever I want, and I have to report to someone. Because once you're in a relationship, it's like you become two individuals, become one. And everything you have to do it as a pair and not by yourself anymore, because you're with someone. So you have to constantly think about the second person all the time, which is fine. But if it's not worth it, then it's kind of like a burden. If that person is really not worth it, it's kind of like a burden. To me, I guess it could be because of the Aquarius in me. Apparently, Aquarius people are very detached and aloof. I can see that. So yes. So maybe that's the reason why I just don't have this crazy attachment that people have to relationships and stuff. And relationship is beautiful when it's nice, but if it's not nice, then it's just being next to someone or dealing with someone just for the heck of dealing with someone, because you don't want to feel alone or lonely, you know. But I guess being an Aquarius, let me know if you're an Aquarius out here. And I'm not just Aquarius, Scorpio is like my top, but I have Aquarius in my sun, and it affects my emotional development, I guess. You know, it basically affects it. And usually your moon sign is how other people who really know you, how they see you. And I guess to me, because I'm an Aquarius, I'm very detached and aloof. So that's what it says. So I guess that's the reason why, like, not being in a relationship, especially if it's going to cost me my happiness and my peace, not being in a relationship is not on top of my, you know, being in a relationship is not on top of my list, especially if it's going to hinder my health and well-being, like my, you know, me enjoying my life to the fullest, because I believe I come here on this planet to enjoy my life to the fullest. And if someone who is supposed to be the love of my life is going to keep me from enjoying that and experiencing that, then I say cut you off. The Bible does say, if you know you have a speck in your eye that's preventing you from seeing, pluck the eye out. You know what I mean? So yeah, if it's preventing you from living a good life, cut them off. That's what I say. So anyways, guys, I'll talk to you later. I mean, me and my little Bible parables, don't even pay attention to me. It's just funny, okay? I'll talk to you later. Bye.